Hi, this is Brandon Smiley from thirstgym.com. Today we're going to talk about an exercise called the Transverse Step Up. This is a great step up option, and I really like it because it gets us moving in all the planes of motion, and it's really a good introductory way to get people to open their hips up and also be able to work not only in the transverse plane, as kind of the name suggests, but also the frontal and the sagittal plane all in one big motion. This is also fantastic for in-season athletes when you're trying to get them to move in multiple ranges of motion, not bang them up a whole lot, but still see some performance benefits as well. So you need some kind of box, preferably something that lets the athlete get at a 90-degree angle, just like with any standard step up. Obviously, if you're working with somebody that's a little bit lower level, you could certainly change the box to something to where they're not getting as much range of motion, and that's entirely fine. But just, scale the box towards what your athlete needs and kind of where they're at. But outside of that, if you want to load this, dumbbells by the side or a goblet position is entirely up to you. We're just going to talk about how to do the exercise in general. So I'll kind of come here from the side first. So the first thing that we're going to try to do, we're standing next to the box. If I had a dumbbell here, it'd be here. I'm going to take the side that's towards the box. We're going to raise it up and externally rotate. So we're going to open up the hip. As we open up, we're going to use this leg to pull ourselves through towards the top. So we're going to be here, through. And then when we reverse it, we step back down and come back into position. So we're going to be here. So if you need somebody that needs to open up their hips, fantastic option as we come through here. Now, if you got a load, preferably a dumbbell in two hands, if that's how you choose to load it, make sure that they have their balance. It's on secure place. They've got a good wide, platform when they go to step on. I would not recommend one of my athletes use this box unless if we're only going to do body weight, so like an introductory youth athlete. But if we're going to start to load it, I'm going to get a bigger box. It's more sturdy, less of a hazard, so just keep that in mind. But outside of that, the exercise is very simple in terms of how we're going to open up. We just got to make sure we're whole foot heavy and that we're trying to pull ourselves up. We're not trying to push off this back leg to where we go here. Okay, we want to try to pull through the back side and through as we come across. And then obviously we're going to switch sides. Obviously, pay attention to what your client's doing, how they're moving. One side might be able to open better than the other. That might tell you some movement limitations, some things you can work on. You might need to program an extra set or two on a really bad side as they try to open that hip up a little bit more. Just keep all of that in mind in terms of how they're compensating, how they're moving. When I program these, I really like 6 to 10 repetitions per side for 3 to 4 sets. Anything over 10, we really start getting them winded. It almost becomes a conditioning exercise. I just think there's a lot of things that can go bad once you start getting reps up that high. You kind of start to lose some quality. Like I said, this is definitely one of my go-tos for more in-season athletes, especially at the high school level, because I want them to try to keep those hips good open and keep them feeling safe and healthy. But again, it's a very concentric heavy exercise, considering as we step up, that's where most of the work's happening. As we come down, the eccentric load for the most part is pretty low compared to something like a lateral lunge, where that might have a little bit more stress on the glutes and the hamstrings as we sit back and load that up, and especially the adductor. But we still get that adductor opening and lengthening up as we come up to the box, and then we rotate transversely into that hip. Okay, so that's another thing you consider. If somebody has a problem getting into that hip, as they rotate to come around, we're going to access that range of motion as we're here. So that's the transverse step up. If you have any questions, feel free in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.